the synonym of the following one? Receptacle. Receptacle, what is the meaning of receptacle? Receptacle means container that stores something, right? Or we can say a big house or a big storeroom or a go down, we can say. So I'm writing here storeroom or go down. Basically, it is useful for storing something, right? So what will be the synonym related to storage only? So recurrence. Recurrence means a repetition of any disease or wound. Right? So it doesn't make any sense irrespective of this. Now the next is decline. Declines means to deny something. Again, not making any sense. Definiteness. Definite means certainty, again not making any sense. Container. Container means a box that can contain something, that can store something. So container will be the correct answer for this particular question. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. Cupidity, right? So cupidity means an urge to get something, craving to get something, or a greed to get something, right? So these all are the synonym of this. Discount means concession, doesn't make any sense. Oblivious. So oblivious means fluffy or forgetful, one who has the short term memory, right? So oblivious. Greed, yes, greed is the synonym of this. So cupidity, greed are related to each other. And comment, you have to comment the answer of this, what is the meaning of this comment, right? Because vocabulary is really necessary for you, so you have to find out more number of words and you have to practice more number of words. Okay, so pallid. Pallid means one who has yellow in color, right? One who has, oh sorry, who is yellow in color, right? So yellow. Okay, so overpass means crossing of two highways. So it doesn't make any sense here. Disdain. What is the meaning of disdain? So disdain means feeling of hate, or envy, right? Revulsion. Revulsion means change or transformation. Change, transformation, or transition. Pale means yellow. Pale means yellow, right? So pale will be the correct answer for this particular question. Let's move on to the next question. Just a minute. Irrepressible. So meaning of irrepressible is quenchless. Quenchless. What it means? Quenchless means one who cannot be modified, right? A thing that cannot be modified or we cannot make any changes in it, that is irrepressible. We cannot make any changes. So so just a minute. Irresistible will be the answer because it is not resistant. Irresistant will be the answer. And the meaning of language, dictate, and acclaim, you have to find out on your own. Let's move on to the next thing. Next is infringe. What is the meaning of infringe? So infringe means violation or attack, right? Infringe means violation or attack. Encroach. Encroach also has the same meaning, that is violation or attack. So it will be the answer. But what is the meaning of timid? Fearful person. That one who is who has the fear, right? Who is not brave. I can say who is not brave, or we can say coward. We can say coward. Concur means agreement. Agreement, right? And expel means lay off, right? So encroach will be the correct answer for this question. Let's move on to the next questions. So the next question, this time we have to find out the antonym of these words. Insolent. The first is insolent. So what insolent means? Insolent means is rude or uncivilized, right? Uncivilized. So what will be the antonym of this? That means one who is civilized or one who is humble. So humble will be the correct answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. Sapient. Sapient means clever. Clever, who is intelligent, who is brilliant, right? So who is intelligent? Here basically we are talking about wisdom, not knowledge. We are talking about wisdom. Okay. So the antonym of this will become kind of very simple person or an ordinary person, right? A basic IQ who has is strong. So strong is kind of related to physical appearance, but here we are talking about mental state, right? So it cannot be the answer. Simple. Yes, simple can be the answer, but again, let's check further as well. Simian. So simian is kind of a monkey, right? It is a species of a monkey. So I'm directly writing monkey only, right? Hunched. What is the meaning of hunched? So the meaning of hunched is quite different only, right? It is bended shoulders, right? It is bended shoulders. Okay. Now the next is valor. So what valor means brave. One who is brave is called valor. So cowardice will be the antonym of this, because just now we have discussed here in this question where timid, coward, right? So cowardice will be the correct answer for this question. It will be the antonym of this. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is concur. So we have previously discussed about it. That means agreement, right? Agreement or cooperability. So the antonym of this will be disagree. Simple. The next is protract. Protract means one who thing or a particular person, we can say, who is long, right? Who is long, who is extended, right? So curtail means to decrease something, or one who is short. So curtail will be the correct answer for this question. Now, before moving forward, let me show you something that recently I have launched an Accenture Cracker Pack, right? So there are previous 5 years papers and all the recent papers, and time to time I used to update it, right? So the papers are from 2020, 2021, 2022, then 2023, 2024, and 2025. There are some bonus pdfs as well. There are some notes, cheat sheets, and all the material that I have used in my YouTube videos, it will be also there. There are complete papers, coding questions of each year, pseudocodes questions. We can say the this material is complete material for your Accenture preparation. So let's have a look what we have in this material. So 2021 to 2022 papers, right? So you can have a look that there are multiple screenshots of the paper, right? These are the multiple screenshots. So if we come here in next folder, 2021 paper, so we have complete papers of 2021 along with their dates as well. And if we come here 2023, right, so these are the screenshots of 2023 exams. Now if we come on 2024, so these are the coding questions. In this we have the coding questions of 2024, and in this folder you will get the question, right? Under this you will have the question date wise: 2nd May, 3rd May, 4th May, 9th May, 9th July, 12th July, etc. So you can see that 12th July. So these are the questions, these are the screenshots. And if you come here again, if you see 3rd May, so these are the 3rd May questions, etc. So similarly you have in others folder. Okay, let's come here for 2025 batch. So these are the papers of August, right? So these are the screenshots of August paper. Then again, the next slot papers, right? So these are the screenshot of next paper. Then coding 2025. So these are the some coding questions that I got recently, and more coding questions I will share. Don't worry, in this only. So here are some bonus PDFs. In each of the folder, you will be getting some more questions of abstract reasoning, critical reasoning, MS Office and Cloud, verbal ability, etc. And if we come here in updated content folder, right, there is an updated content folder. Time to time I used to update it with the new papers, right? So you can see that this is a paper of 12th July, then February, then I have added this Accenture 2024 is of recent paper, right? This is the recent paper, you can see. And this is the MS Office questions from the recent exam, right? This is the MS Office questions from the recent exam. And if we come back here, so if you see verbal ability, we have lots of PDFs and lots of images there, and these are the all free resources in it. Okay, and if we see complete paper, so once you are done with your preparation, you can practice on these complete papers together, right? In those PDFs, you will be having the complete paper. Okay, now let me tell you the price of this. So the price is super affordable, just 100 rupees you have to pay. And guys, see, make sure to avail this material if you want that you are contacted to me only. Whether you can contact me on Instagram or on Telegram, both the links are given in the description itself, because there are some people who are making scams. So they are selling the content either on the higher price, or if they are selling the content on low price, what they are doing, they will get the payment, they will block you. So don't go for those, right? So make sure that you are contacting to me and you are availing the material to me. I'm not insisting you that you have to avail this material. It's all your choice. You can watch the videos, you can use any resources, but I have this much of content I have shown you, right? So there are some cheat sheets as well for each section. Antonym, synonym cheat sheet, what are the mostly asked antonym, synonym, and common applications and MS Office, network security, cloud, right? Interview guide is there, one word are there. Cheat sheet for coding questions as well. 60 questions are there. All the questions are of Accenture only, right? Okay, so the price is 100 rupee. I have told you. And one more thing I want to show you, that we have the success stories of 2025 minutes. So these all are the success stories. So let me show you something. See, you can clearly see that man, I have cleared my Accenture communication round. Communication round, that means he has already cleared the technical assessment and cognitive ability part, right? So if we see in the next, so hi sister, thanks for uploading the content on this. He has cleared. So there are multiple testimonials I'm getting this time, that yes, I have cleared, I have cleared. And you can see on my Instagram highlight success 2025 or in the YouTube community section, right? So yes, if you want, you can contact me on Instagram or on the Telegram. Okay, so let's moving on to the next question. Okay, so find out the errors. Okay, so identify the error in this sentence. So there are multiple sentences and they are just basically forming a paragraph. So here, let's start. The starts. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars saying, fly me to the moon, let me play between. So it is kind of, these lines are brought up from a particular paragraph and meanwhile from the paragraph, right? So if we see that the starts, let me see what spring is. There is no any error, it is all right. Like on Jupiter and Mars sang. So just we are comparing that, like Jupiter and Mars sang. Okay, fly me to the moon, let me play between. So if we see that here we are talking about stars, and stars are countless, right? How we can use between? How we can use between? Because here stars are the subject and we are comparing. So we are saying that in reference to stars we should use among, right? Because between is used for two people or two person. In the comparison of two-person we will use between, but here we are talking about stars and stars are plural and uncountable. So among will be sorry, among will be the best suitable answer here. So it will be the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. Identify the error sentence. Probability oriented environment of role. The interaction with the game is still very tactile thanks to the board setup and the, right. So it is again, it is brought up from a particular paragraph, right? So the thing is here we are talking about, every time we are talking about something specific, we are specifying something, right? So here the error is just that probability oriented environment of role, it should be, it should be operable with the help of articles, because we have to specify it as well, because here the interaction, the game, every time we are specifying everything. So here the correct of this will become the probability oriented environment of the role, right? This will be the correct answer for this. So option number A will be the correct answer. So the error was just that here the article use was not there, so we have to use articles as well. Let's move on to the next question. Identify the error sentences. So once the tunnel for the metro is dug under the premises, the magnetic circuits will be, sorry, the magnetic circuits will be a breach and the negative forces of physical spiritual pollution will attack. So basically these are three continuous sentences and we are talking about like their Once the tunnel of the metro is dug under the premises, so the magnetic circuits will be a breach and the negative forces of physical and spiritual pollutions will attack. So here we are talking about a certain condition that once this will done, so this thing will happen or this thing will take place. So if we see in the second, the magnetic circuits will be a breach. So it is making a problem here that how a magnetic circuit can make a breach. A breach in magnetic circuit is there. It is correct, but magnetic circuit will be a breach. How? This is not possible, right? A breach can occur in magnetic circuit, but magnetic circuit will be a breach. It's not correct. So it should be like any breach will occur in the magnetic circuit or like that. We can replace in so, but this is not the correct way to represent it. So the error will here. Let's move on to the next question. So fill in the blanks. Find out one word that is to be fitted both the sentences for first and to make it meaningful. All right, so we have to fill up these sentences. Dinah tried to her father into letting her drive the family car. Okay. Loathsome some casual first tea. So here casual will be the best suitable word. Why? Because casual means uh, uh, let me give you an example. In our family, if we want good food, right, hostlers can relate. So whenever we go home, so obviously our mother cook tasty food for us. But sometimes when we used to buttering on my mother or your father, right, that oh mama, homemade food is just awesome, like that. So it is nothing but buttering, right? It is nothing but buttering to make them feel happy so that they can make you happy, right? This is kind of cheating. But to make them first, you have to make them happy so that they can make you happy. So this is nothing but casual. The meaning of casual is this, right? So Dinah tried to cajole her father. So Dinah just convinced her father so that he can allow her to drive the family car. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, she was dash and reserved, a nice modest girl whom any young man would be proud to take home to his mother. Okay, so she was, so here we are talking about a girl who has the separate nature, or we can say a reserved nature. So we have to use any particular word that will be suitable here. So demure means is kind of one who is not so open to everyone, one who is not open to everyone, or we can say introvert, right? We can say introvert, or sometimes we can relate with hesitate, right? So demure will be the correct answer because she is a demure person. She is not open to everyone. So everyone, every guy will want a woman to make his wife. That the woman is not open to everyone, right? You are guessing my point, I know. Let's move on to the next question. The critics fill up his pretentious dialogue and refuse to consider his play seriously, crumbling, moldy, vengeful, or deride. So the critics deride his pretentious dialogue and refuse to consider his play seriously. Now you have to tell the meaning of deride. Right, deride is the answer, but you have to find out the meaning of deride. Let's move on to the next thing. Sorry, next question. So in these, so this question, these questions are from different slot. So again, you have to choose the synonym, right? Impartial. So let's break it down in two parts. Impartial. So im plus partial. Partial. Partial means biasing, right? Biasing, we can say biasing, or we can say disbalanced judgment, right? One who is suppose there are two people, right? One who is criminal and one who is not a criminal, and there is a judge. So judge is biased to this criminal, so who will get the punishment? Obviously this non-criminal, right? So this is called biasing, or this is called partiality, right? So here we are talking about impartial. That means there should not be any biasing, there should be equality. So equitable will be the correct answer for this question because there is no biasing, the judgment is pure, the judgment is all okay, balanced. So it will be the correct answer for this. Biased will be the antonym of this, right? Distance means at a distance of, doesn't make any sense in this. Unjust doesn't make any sense in the context of this word. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. uh I don't know why I'm talking again and again. Thing. This is question. Okay. Hoodwink. Hoodwink is, in Hindi we say aankhon mein dhul jhokna. That means to cheat someone, to do a fraud with someone, right? So deceive is also the synonym of this hoodwink, right? So deceive will be the answer. Means to cheat someone. To cheat someone. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. So conscript. Conscript means recruitment, right? Recruitment, hiring. Especially this word useful use in the context of army, but we can use it for the recruitment, right? Recruitment of army, especially this word is useful for recruitment of army, but in general we can also use this word. So draft is the synonym of this, and here you can see that similar words are these: call up, enlist, recruit, mobilize, raise, muster, draft. So draft, because it's kind of just different thing by seeing, so I just put this screenshot in front of you directly. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Vulnerable, right? Vulnerable, which is unsafe, right? So the synonym of this will be endangered, which is not safe, which is unsafe. Let's move on to the next question. You have to tell the answer in the comment section. I know I'm giving you more and more homework, but the thing is, your vocabulary should be good, right? You have to find out the words. Let's move on to the next. Okay. So until a few years ago, the toss-up for the city's commuters was between overcrowded city bus and sorry, this sometimes should come here and this fill up should go there, right? So this will be, until a few years ago, the toss-up for the city's commuters was between overcrowded buses and sometimes greedy rickshaw drivers. So basically, we are comparing two situations for the city commuters, that for a long time before, like what happened is, either commuters have to choose overcrowded buses which are not comfortable, or else they have to choose the greedy auto rickshaw drivers, right? So there are two ways of transportations only. So we have to fill this blank here. This is a blank, this sometimes should go here, right? So we have to fill this blank. So eccentric will be the correct answer for this. Eccentric means one, like eccentric, we are talking about greedy auto rickshaw, right? So they are just, the Hindi meaning of this is sunki, right? And we can say psycho because auto rickshaw walas are really psycho sometimes, right? So it will be the correct answer here. Stunning doesn't make any sense. Usual greedy e-rickshaw, sorry, auto rickshaw, no. Horrible, no, any auto rickshaw can wala be horrible. Like we cannot define as horrible, but eccentric will be the best suitable word here. Let's move on to the next question. The bench also struck down the 1919 Constitution Amendment Act, which was passed unanimously by both houses of parliament. Unanimously, again, uh, we can say unbiased, in an unbiased way, in a perfect judgment way, right? So unanimously by both house of parliament. Let's move on to the next question. So this fill up strengthens the allegation that the influence of the executive in the appointment of judges cannot be ruled out unless a judicial commission is formed. So this persuasion is the allegation that the influence of the executive in the appointment of judges cannot be ruled uh, out unless a judicial commission is. Persuasion will be the answer. Persuasion means we can say anune, right? Anune. Let me give you some example of it. Uh, the skills to convince someone, right? Skills to convince someone. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Even after 10 years of the RTI, I find widespread lack. So although RTI is implemented from 10 years, but still there is a lack of consideration, right? People are not considering it. It's the part of our, we can say, constitution or something, but still people are not accepting it, right? Widespread it is not there. So power of consideration, there is a lack of consideration of this RTI yet. All right, let's move on to the next question. A fight broke, sorry, choose the correct word which substitute the bolded part. Okay. A fight broke out in the pub and it was hard to pull the people involved away. So there is a pub where a fight got happened, and then uh, it was hard to pull the people. So it is all okay. Pull the people, that means we have to distance the people from the fight. Okay, so pull is all okay. Involved away. We have to distance the people. That means we have to apart the people from the fight. So pull and apart will be the correct answer from this question. Let's move on to the next question. She didn't get on till well after 12 o'clock because she had been out for a few drinks with her mates. So actually this is a phrasal verb, right? And the correct word should be get in. So what is the meaning of it? Suppose she has to arrive on a particular place. Let's take an example that she has to arrive at her home only, but she couldn't because she was busy with her mates in drinking and partying, right? So she was enjoying, that's why she couldn't reach at the time on by 12 o'clock, like that. So get in is the correct phrasal verb for reaching, arriving, right? This means arrive on a particular place. So it is a phrasal verb. So get in will be the correct answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. Oh, okay. So the next question is, the opposition parties are trying to clean off the voters they lost in the election. So every time the opposition parties always try to get back their voters, right? Who they have lost. So they always want to get their back. That means they want to get their back. Sorry, or I can say return, right? Return. So clawback is the best suitable word for this. Let's move on to the next question. She wheeled around when he told her to stop. So it should be replaced by wheeled round. Wheeled round, that means instant stop. So as he command to stop her, she just stopped at that at is instantly, right? So wheeled round will be the correct phrasal verb for this. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so we have to compile these four sentences in a meaningful order so that they can make a meaningful paragraph. Okay. Celebrations are observed the worldwide, but particularly in India by throwing color at one another. So we can see that here we are talking about celebrations, but here we are specifying our India. That means India must be somewhere a subject. So it cannot be the first statement, right? So always try to find out the noun or the subject, right? So that you can start your sentence. Okay, let's come here now. Holi celebrates the arrival of spring and summer as the dull winter breaks into a glow of color under clear skies. Okay, so it is kind of initiation of a sentence, right? So it can be the first statement. Let's move on to the next. For Indians, the festival is a crucial part of the year. So it cannot be the first because the thing is, we are already talking about festivals. So we have to make a foundation of this. So here directly we are addressing Indians. So before we have to address India, then only we can address Indians, right? And we are talking about festivals, so we have to address a festival as well. So again, it cannot be the answer. So perhaps, because so again, perhaps cannot be the starting sentence of a meaningful paragraph, right? So wholly, so two will come first. Now let's use the option elimination technique. Let's check how many options are there from two. So B, C, and D. So it cannot be the answer, right? Okay, let's try along with the options. So 2, 4. So after this, let's try for 4. So Holi celebrates the arrival of spring and summer as the dull winter breaks into a glow of color under clear skies. So as we can see here, that this is the effect of Holi, right? That glow of colors under clear sky, etc. So why this effect happened? There must be a reason, right? So the reason will be perhaps because here we are specifying the reason. शायद इसलिए the crops sown in autumn ripen under the newly golden sun, and so anticipation of glad times become only natural. So Holi has an effect, and what was the cause of it? We are specifying in the next line, right? So it will be the answer. Maybe let's try out, or else if we read this 2 then 3. So Holi celebrates the arrival of spring and summer as a dull winter breaks into a glow of color under clear skies. For Indians, the festival is a crucial part of the year, and collecting flowers and making colors begin late in winter. So all right, we are talking about festivals, but here we have specified Holi, so we have to talk about Holi only, right? So it cannot be the next. If we take here 2 1, again uh, it is talking about celebrations and observe the world. So the thing is, the fourth sentence is directly specifying that what was the cause of Holi, sorry, what was the effect of Holi, and what is the cause of it, right? So it will be the next. Now we have easily identified that 2413 will be the answer. Now let's have a quick clue of this, that Holi celebrates the arrival of spring and summer as the dull winter breaks into a glow of color under clear skies. Perhaps because the crops sown in autumn ripen under the newly golden sun, and so anticipation of glad times become only natural. Then celebrations were observed the world over, but particularly in India. Here we have specified our India by throwing a color on another, etc. Then we have specified India, then we will specify Indians, right? So at last we have to specify Indians, and it will be the right ordering of the sentence 2413. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. So we have to replace this underlined part. So the constitution guarantees citizens that, sorry, the constitution guarantees citizens the right for freedom of expression subject to some conditions for national well-being. So always remember, right for is not the correct, right to is correct. We get a right to do something, right? We get right to. Right to is the correct verb for this. So right to will be the answer. It will be the best replacement. Let's move on to the last question for today. Okay, so choose the best replacement again. So he berates me and insists that I should pay attention to him. So whenever you see that there is a sentence of anticipation, or someone is having some wish from you and they are insisting you, right? So he berates me and insists that I should pay attention. So here we usually ignore these type of words, should or say, because directly we are insisting that you have to pay attention. So it will be the correct answer, that insists that I pay attention to him. Directly we will come in the present tense, not in the model modular verb. I think it is called modular verb. I'm not getting the exactly idea, but the rule is, in this type of situation, whenever we get the anticipation or insisting of something, so we usually avoid should and so we will directly use the main verb, and it is the okay. So they will give you a short paragraph, and from there, from that paragraph, you need to answer for some of the questions. 2 or 3 questions they will ask you only. In this scene, here they have just the 3 questions only. So this is our passage. In the world of science, data serves as the foundation of progress. Researchers collect, analyze, and interpret data to understand natural phenomena. With the advancement in technology, large-scale data collection has become more feasible, allowing scientists to develop models that predict future trends. However, the sheer volume of data can sometimes overwhelm, leading to challenges in sorting relevant information from irrelevant noise. Okay, so this is our passage, and basically, this is telling that we have the data. It's kind of a wealth these days, and with the help of data we are doing so, however, so there is a contrast, right? There is a contradictory statement that with this lot of amount of data, there is a problem as well, that to sort the relevant information out of the noisy data, right? So this is about the data. Okay, so the questions are: what is the foundation of progress in the world of science according to the passage? So this thing we have seen in the first line only, that in the world of science, data serves as the foundation of progress, right? So here again, foundation of progress is data, right? So here if we see the options, theoretical models, data collection, natural phenomena, and technology. So data collection will be the correct answer, because in the whole paragraph we are talking about data only, right? Let's move on to the next question. What has made large scale data collection more feasible? So this thing we have here, large scale data collection has become more feasible, allowing scientists to develop models that predict future trends. Okay, so it is asking for what has made large scale data collection more feasible. So the answer will come from here. With the advancement in technology, large scale data collection has become more feasible, right? So let's see if the option is available. Advancement in technology. Yes, it is the first option. So option number A will be the correct answer for this question, right? Moving on to the next question. The next question is, what challenge arises from the large volume of data collected, right? So this thing we have discussed in the last of the sentence, last of the passage, that is from here. However, the sheer volume of data can sometimes overwhelm, leading to challenges in sorting relevant information from the irrelevant noise. So here, problems in sorting relevant and irrelevant information, right? So challenges has been discussed in the later part of the passage, and it is starting from this however. So however is a some kind of keyword that denotes the contrast, right? The contradictory statement is starting from here. Okay, all right. So I hope this is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, rearrange the following words to form a meaningful sentence. And these are the questions that are super favorite of Accenture, right? To rearrange the paragraph, to sentence improvement question, para jumbles, and error spotting. These are the super favorite type of questions of Accenture, Infosys, and LTI Mindtree type of companies. Okay. All right. Yesterday, we too went to market the. Okay. So we know that the proper structure of making a sentence is, first of all, you need to identify what is the subject, right? So here the subject is we, right? We. Then followed by the verb or helping verb, right? So here the verb is went. This is the second form of verb, right? So we went. Then object. So in object, the whole sentence can come. So we went to market, the direction, like where we went, right, to market, and the time or the day when we went to the market yesterday, right? So we went to the market yesterday. Option number A will be the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. Rearrange the following words again. Successfully, task require prioritizing, completing. Okay, so this is something, see, first of all we need to put the foundation. So tasks task require prioritizing, right? Prioritizing, completing success, task require prioritizing, successfully completing. Okay, this statement is quite awkward kind of something, right? But the meaning is something that if you will prioritize your task, you can complete them successfully, right? The meaning of this is this, that if you will prioritize your task, you can complete them successfully. So task requiring, task require prioritizing, successfully completing. So option number C will be the correct answer for this question. All right, let's move on to the next question. So the next question is fill in the blanks. Okay, so this is again a very important thing for your Accenture verbal ability, right? She went to park to relax after a long day at work. Okay, so park. Park is a countable countable noun, and this is singular, right? So before singular countable noun, we need to use a or n, right? We need to use a or n. So we will be using a here because it is a consonant and it sounds as consonant only, right? So we will be using a. Now some people can might have thinking that there should be the she went to the market. See, we will use the when she, that means the author or the narrator of the uh, or what I can say, the story, right, is already introduced with this thing. Suppose we are talking about, suppose this is a story, and the and that park has been discussed before that only, right? And in the next statement, if we are asking for that what should be the article here, so at that time we will use the. But if we don't know about anything, right, if we don't know about this thing, that we are placing the article, right, so at that time we will use only a, not the. The will be used when you know that we are talking about that specific thing, then only we will use the, but not for a new thing. Okay. All right. So the next question is, he is sitting the table waiting for his food. So we need to use a preposition here. So he is sitting at the table, right? He is sitting at the table because here at describes someone's position, right? So someone's position when somebody is sitting for food or sitting for work, and we are denoting their position. So we will use at. Why don't we use on? Because on is something that on the table. On the table means on the surface of the table, right? So nobody sits on the surface of the table for having the food, right? So on is not correct. In is not grammatically suitable here. And over again, above, right? Over means, suppose this is our table. This is our table. My drawing is not good, so please don't comment. This is our table, and we are sitting here. How we can sit in the air, right? This is something over refers to. So at the table is denoting the position of someone's. Okay. So this is it, and let's move on to the next question. Okay, so we need to rearrange these sentences to form a meaningful sentence, we can say, or we can say a quite mini paragraph. Okay. All right. So constructed role for women places them in the domestic sphere and prevents them from undertaking social, economic, and political activities designated for men. In traditional patriarchal societies, the culturally. Okay, so first of all, we need to form the foundation, and I can see that the foundation is starting from here. That in traditional patriarchal societies, so it should be D, right? In traditional patriarchal societies, the culturally constructed role for women places them in the, okay, in the domestic sphere and prevents them from undertaking uh this. Okay, so the whole sentence will be like this: DABC. Now how? See, first of all, the issue, we are introducing the issue that in traditional patriarchal societies, the culturally what, right? Now we are talking about what? So constructed role for women places them in the domestic sphere that prevents them from undertaking. Now we are introducing about these roles wherever the women's are uh, prohibited, right? In the ancient period of time, the women's are prohibited from these roles. So these are the some roles we have introduced the role itself. So again, if we read, so in traditional patriarchal societies, the culturally constructed role for women places them in a domestic sphere and prevents them from undertaking such activities that were designated for men only, right? So DABC will be the correct answer for this question. Now, this question is also similar type of question. You need to arrange them and you need to give the answer in the comment section. This is your homework, right? Let's move on to the next question. The next question is from your Cloze test. Cloze test, right? This is again a very important type of question for Accenture purpose. Okay. So we have this Cloze and we have some fill in the blanks. That means one. So you need to fill this gap with the help of these four options available. Similarly, this second blank will be filled by these options available, and this third blank will be filled by these options available. Similarly, fourth and fifth. I hope you get it right. Now let's read. So in the past few years, there has been a significant in the number of people using social media platform. So if we talk about social media platforms, so we are comparing this thing with the past few years, right? Now options available here are, okay, in the past few years there has been a significant
decline, increase, decrease, or stability. You know very well that there has been a significant increment or increase in the number of people using social media platforms, right? So it will be not decrease, increase. Option number B. Now, social media has transformed the way individuals communicate, information, and share ideas. So here we are talking about the features of social media, that how people are using social media, right? So options available are here, in here. Okay, so social media has transformed the way individuals communicate, consume information, and share ideas, or delete information. No, not delete information, because delete is not something that is appropriate here in this blank, right? Isolate doesn't make any sense, and abandon is not making any sense again in the context of this paragraph. Okay, so here this will be consume. Okay, now let's connect the points. In the past few years, there has been a significant increase in the number of people using social media platforms. Social media has transformed the way individuals communicate, consume information, and share ideas. Till now, we are clear. Okay. However, now there is a contradictory statement, right? So, although we are talking about the advancement in social media, now we can talk about some uh, disadvantages of social media or something bad about social media, because however is something that is come with some contradictory statement. Okay, so however this also brings challenges. So what is this? So this progress, scenario, development, or failure. So actually it is a development, because it is a time taking process, and over the time it has been developed, right? So the this development also brings challenges such as concerns about privacy and the random spread of information, deliberate, slow, or rapid. See, on social media, when something is got viral, it got viral rapidly, right? So privacy and the rapid spread of information, right? Rapid spread of misinformation. Now, as more people engage with social media, it becomes increasingly important to analyze the content they consume critically. So because a lot of people are using social media, so it is very important to analyze that how they are consuming the social media, right? To analyze, option number C will be the correct answer in the context of this paragraph. So I hope it is clear. So in the starting, we are telling that this is how social media has been developed and what are these advancements, right? How people are using it. Then we are combining that there are some disadvantages as well, there are some what I can say, mm, 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 there is a contradiction as well, right? So now we have discussed everything. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, here we need to tell that what part of the sentence is incorrect here. Okay, she didn't went to the party because she was feeling unwell. Okay, so she didn't went. See, this combination is totally wrong, because this is past tense you are using, and you are using the second form of verb. See, whenever we are using the did not, so we have to use the first form of verb only, because we have already used the second form of verb to denote that this statement of is of the past, right? So she didn't went is not correct. She didn't go to the party because she was feeling unwell. This will be the correct answer. So here went is incorrect here, right? Okay. Now, the student as well as the teacher were excited for the trip. See, whenever any statement has as well as, in addition to, together with, along with, this type of question, so this the second the second part of the sentence is just for adding some information, right? But we will use the verb according to the subject, right? And here the subject is the student, that means singular student. So the verb should be singular only, right? Verb will be choose according to this subject only, not with this as well as, or along with, or in addition to wala's subject, right? So the student, because the student is singular, so we will use was. The student was the student as well as the teacher. So this is something just, it is the extra information, not so much big thing, right? It is just an information, and we need to consider the verb according to our subject only. But if this sentence would be as the teacher as well as the student, right? The teacher as well as the students were excited for the trip. So if it would be the teachers, so we will use were. And if it is the subject, right, the main subject, so we will use were. Otherwise it will be as it is, as I have discussed. So here were is incorrect because here we have only singular subject, that means the student. So we will choose the verb accordingly. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, the car needs to be repaired immediately. So here the error lies in here in this part, repair. It should be repaired, because to be and after to be we have to use the past participle verb, right? So it should be repaired. The past participle verb will be the third form of the verb, so it should be repaired. Okay, now the next question is rearrange the following words to form a meaningful sentence. Again, the in dog is park playing. Okay, so here the subject is the dog, right? The dog, then helping verb or the main verb is playing, and then followed by the object in the park. In the park. Okay, the dog is playing in the park, option number C. All right, now before moving on to the next of writing or the art of writing is called calligraphy. It is something the handwriting, right? What is geology? Geology is related to earth structure, typography is related to font and styles, and photography is related to the images, right? And the term for a book about one's own life. So whenever someone write their own life in a form of a book, it is called autobiography. Autobiography, right? So option number B will be the right answer. Biography is something that someone's life is written by someone else. It is something biography. Novel is a fictional story, right? Memoir is something, there are some memoir is something, a really a kind of album. There are some experiences or there are some moments of the life are collected together. So I have explained each and everything here. Calligraphy is the art and science of beautiful writing using special pens or brushes. Geology is the earth's physical structure and substances. Typography related to type and fonts. Photography is capturing images with camera. Now, biography, a book written about someone's life by another person. Autobiography by their own life. Okay. Novel, a fictional story, and memoir is collection of memories or specific experience. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. What does the idiom walking up the wrong tree mean? So walking up the wrong tree is something you are trying to do something, but you are not doing it correctly. That means you are making some mistakes in that. Whatever you want to do, you are making some mistakes. Okay. So to make a mistake will be the appropriate answer. And this question was last year asked. I remember that this question was asked last year. Okay, what is the synonym of generous? So generous is someone who is kind, who is very calm in nature, who is very kind in nature, who is helpful, right? So mean is something below average person, that means not a good person. Sometimes we say na, he's so mean or she is so mean, she has the bad behavior or like that. So mean is not a synonym of this. Benevolent is something that is exactly what we are looking for. Synonym of generous, benevolent. Stingy and selfish is again kind of antonym of generous only. Okay. What is the antonym of honest? We all know that honest, dishonest, otherwise we can say deceitful, right? Option number C. Now here again I have mentioned everything. Barking up the wrong tree, to make a mistake in what you are trying to do, right? Then generous means kinds or willing to give. Someone who can give you something, right? Data, dene wala. Okay. And benevolent is also means kind and willing to help or give. And mean, stingy, and selfish are the opposite of generous, and similarly for these. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What is the antonym of bright? So bright is something is shiny, something bright, something shiny, something contains light or etc. Something is luminous, right? So dull is the antonym of bright. Now the next question is the direct and indirect speech. His father says honesty is the best policy. So whenever we have a universal statement, universal truth, we don't change the we don't change the type of the tense. Okay, so we only will change the reported speech. His father says, so it will be changed into his father said, then this inverted commas will be replaced by that. This will be exactly as it, because it is the universal truth. Yes, honesty is the best policy. So his father said that honesty is the best policy. Option number D will be the correct answer for this question. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question, and it will give you in your homework. Okay, right. Let's move on to the next question. She not only was strongest but also most intelligent. So we need to improve this sentence, or if there is no improvement required, so we need to mark this answer no improvement. But here is a improvement required. She not only was, see, it should be not only the correct form of structure according to grammar, not only plus helping verb and then but also and the rest part of the sentence, right? So it will become not only, not only uh, was she strongest, was she strongest, but also most intelligent, but also, pardon my handwriting, most, because in digital pen it is like this only. Okay, so not only was she intelligent, sorry, was she strongest but also most intelligent. So the error lies here. Okay, the error lies is here. Not only was she strongest, here na, just a minute. mm, no, not here, here. Was not only c, right? Was not only c, so it will be corrected by this. Not only was she strongest, but also most intelligent. Now, what were you doing ever since mom left? So here we have ever since. So whenever we have ever since, we know that it is present perfect continuous tense, right? That means from a certain point of time in past till the present. From the certain point of time in past till the present, we are talking about that type of tense. Okay, that is present perfect continuous. So whenever we need to make present perfect continuous, we will use has been or have been. So what were you doing will change to what have you been doing, because here we have you, so we will use have, right? So what have you been doing ever since from mom left? Okay, let's move on to the next question. The doctor suggested me to take a holiday. We need to improve this. So the doctor suggested that I should take a holiday. Okay, now the last question for today is just a minute. Oh, okay, we need to arrange them. Economists all over the world have expressed anxiety in this regard. In this regard, in what regard? That means there is some issue, right? There is some issue. So A cannot be the first statement. So we will eliminate this option. Okay. Now, as a result, so directly we can't conclude the result. So B also cannot be the initially part, right? So B is also not in the option. Don't worry. Then Indian economy has not shown desirable growth in the recent year. This is something that is kind of introduction of any issue or any event, right? So it can be the first statement, but let's check further. Grim global economic scenarios has also contributed to this problem. What problem? That means already we are talking about a particular problem. So D cannot be the first statement. So D is again eliminated. Then, but like with but we can't start any new statement or new passage or sentence, right? So E also cannot be the first statement. So this is how, by eliminating the options, we have find out our answer. Now let's check. Okay, so see, Indian economy has not shown desirable growth in the recent years. So this is something we have an issue. Okay. Now D. Grim global economic scenarios has also contributed to this problem. That means the issue. And it seems a quick fix solution is it far away. Okay. Economists all over the world have expressed anxiety in this regard, in the same regard, right? Okay. Then E. But one of the primary reasons for such a situation has been Indian government's inability to take tough decisions. So we have a problem, and now we are telling the reason of that. That one of the major reason is that Indian government is unable to take tough decisions. Now, at last, what's the result of this? So, as a result, Indian people have been subjected to high cost of living and inflation. Inflation. Okay. So, option number A, by using option elimination techniques, how easy we have concluded our answer. And with that said, we have solved approx 30 questions from verbal ability, and all these questions were previously asked